All right, Nick, let's talk about the USC Trojans. Trojans, up and down season, tumultuous off season so far. There's been guys leaving, coming, going, staying. What is going on with this team this off season? Well, we've got news. There is some light at the end of the tunnel. It seems like this team has stabilized. There's a lot of good news coming down the pipe now for the Trojans. I think it's going to be really exciting to hear. So stay tuned for that. But first, I'm Andrew, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, Nick, as I alluded to, light at the end of the tunnel for the Trojans for the tumultuation of this early offseason. This is a team that was up and down, guys leaving. It seemed like it would never end, but there is some light at the end of the tunnel. There's some stabilization. And I think there's some really good news coming in the way of the transfer portal for this team. Let's get into the article and we can talk more about it on the other side. This course from over on 24/7 Sports. USC knew it had to move to add veteran talent on the offensive line after starting left guard Emmanuel Pregnon became the fifth offensive lineman to enter the transfer portal. The Trojans checked two boxes with additions of Syracuse center Dron Reed Wednesday following the commitment of Purdue transfer DJ Wingfield. The Trojan offensive line now hits winter conditioning with much better potential first team answers. Lincoln Riley and new offensive line coach Zach Hansen work to restock the room. The Trojans will once again have an essentially new offensive line in 2025, but Reed's addition puts the next group further ahead in terms of experience than the 2024 version. I think this was really great news for the Trojans. This is what you want to hear. When you got five offensive linemen hit the transfer portal, that's never good. That's not what you want to hear, and it makes you very nervous, especially for having a young quarterback and a guy like Longstreet coming over. But it seems like things are stabilizing. Things are going back in the right direction for the Trojans. Nick, I'm curious what you think about this one, but Trojan fans, in the comment section below, we see the offensive line. It is getting course corrected. Things are happening. Lincoln Riley knows what he's doing. We got to take our time and trust him to do with that. But I want to know, what other things are you seeing on this team? Is there another spot that he can work on? Let us know where you think the next holes they need to fill are. But let us know that in the comment section below. Nick, what are your thoughts on everything's Trojans here and how they have stabilized the ship?
I think that's exactly the right phrase. They've stabilized the ship, right? It looked really bad there for a couple of weeks, but it's one of those situations. It's just a fact of life. And we say it all the time on this channel, right? It's just a newer, weirder era of college football with the transfer portal, with NIL. You're going to lose a bunch of guys. It's going to be like NFL, the NFL on season where every single team loses anywhere from like 15 to 30 guys, whether they be starters, backups, or special teams, or a combination of all the above right there. That's what college football is going to be like. So when you hear the news, 5 people transferred, 8 people into the portal, 12 people into the portal, whatever, it's going to sound scary. It's going to sound awful. It's going to be like, oh my God, this guy is falling. Lincoln Riley, in this case, he doesn't know what can do. He's no longer a good coach. The staff is crumbling. Oh, what's going to happen? Are we going to go 0-12? Like relax. Okay, this is just a new world of college football. Let the process work itself out. And we've seen that from USC. Guys leave, like the NFL, you lose guys in free agency. What do NFL teams do? They go out and sign guys, or they go out and draft guys. That's what Lincoln Riley did. What they do, they went out and signed 2 free agents. They went out and added 2 transfers. Suddenly their first string group's looking a lot better all of a sudden, right? It's amazing what happens over the course of a couple days. Things were looking terrible. Now things are looking a little bit better. Let's see what happens with the recruits, with the freshmen when they come in. Let's see if there's any other transfer portal additions. Or let's see if some of these younger guys develop and become quality players. They were big time recruits in their own right. Let's let this play out and let the process work its course. Especially in this era of social media and everyone having all this information to them all at once, it creates a chance for people to just freak out and just get overhyped or over negatively focused on teams that are struggling or doing too well in the transfer portal. Let it play out. Teams are going to get guys, teams are going to lose guys. The important thing to understand is Lincoln Riley gets that like every top coach. It's all about the process. This game is still football, right? It's all about developing young guys, bringing in good recruits, adding in good transfers, executing your strategy, installing your offense, getting people better over the offseason, preparing for the regular season with hopefully a better defense as well. It's still the same game. Relax, stabilize the situation. Lincoln Riley's done that. I still think the trend is USC's friend. They've got their quarterback of the future in place, like you mentioned. They've got a lot of good pieces. It still will take a few times, I think, to get adjusted to the Big Ten. But remember, this is also still USC. They're going to bring in the freshmen. They're going to bring in more transfers. I still believe in Lincoln Riley, and these latest two moves are proof that you should too.
Yeah, Nick. And we look at this team now, you say this is a even potentially better set of offensive linemen that they started with in 2024. That is a breath of fresh air. You look at this, they got the two interior guys from the transfer portal that comes over. You have two really top tier 4-star offensive tackles coming in Payne out of Georgia and Dunn out of Utah. And these guys are monsters 6'5, 270, 6'8, 290 in Payne and Dunn. Really just bookending tackles right there. You got a center, you got an interior guy, you got two lower tier offensive linemen, another tackle, another interior guy also, but those are 3 stars. Not as much known about them, but who knows? Washer could be the other guard of the future for this team. This is a really solid offensive line in the making. It's like you said, one day the sky is falling, next day you take a step back, couple transfer portal additions come in, and people are saying, hey, this offensive line could potentially be better off than it was last season. So I think Lincoln Riley, like you said, he knows what he's doing. He's got a plan. He knows how to react to the transfer portal. Heck, they probably even expect to lose a lot of guys to the transfer portal in this day and age. It's just going to happen. If you're not like even the top tier programs in the country, they're losing guys left and right. So your Alabamas, your Georgias, everybody. Oregon's lost multiple guys to the transfer portal. Everybody is going to succumb to this in some way, shape, or form in this new college football era. Nothing to worry about. I think Lincoln Riley's got it under control, and he's going to add the appropriate pieces to recover.